that timestamp should exist if Future Jordan does them soon after the stream. I don't know how soon, at least within the next 24 hours with the stream starting. But if nothing else, as we're sitting on like ×1 scale, so I need to reset that. I was actually going to start this stream sooner so I can get some more prep work done, but that didn't happen. So as we're looking at what should be on the screen right now, we're just going to go through a run first before I decide on what else to do. Otherwise, if you didn't already know, and let me just save the thing here. So this should save the ×2 resolution scaling. Because nope, it did not, because you need to go into a run and actually finish the run. So let's do that really quick. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just setting things up. So if nothing else, the timestamp should exist in case you want to. I'll probably put I'll timestamp moments that are important. That way, anyone who comes into this stream or comes into this VOD, if you're watching this as a VOD, can skip forward to things that may be a lot of very important. Otherwise, really, we're here to kind of just chill, as the stream title should be saying. And yeah, so again, we're using the plugin version 0.95, and off we go. And, no, I was gonna say a thing. I don't know if it's true. So yeah, we'll at least do another run. This is going to be pretty much the same. I haven't changed anything since the last one, but I just want to do more runs just to see. That being said, so we are going to just do random backstory into Zektast, just to kind of stress test the character gameplay-wise, but as we also get Eldritch Parasite, you know, sometimes foreshadowing is inevitable. That's my version of it. But as we get second encounter, light, dexterity, strength, knowledge, and maybe a second mystery, we'll continue onward. You know what? I didn't do this, so let's do that. I realized that there was something else I could be doing too. You know what? I'm gonna do that actually. So as we let me take another look at the lighthouse, Takushi-san, and stuff. So for those who don't have or haven't seen any videos on this plugin with the character that I made, and then this character is one of the first I made. I'll go over some other things while we're sitting here. I might as well library notes, by the way. Okay, fine. Well, brainworms too. But oh, that's not the right. I'm going absolutely insane. I forgot what I was gonna say. Gosh, me. Why did I forget this? Oh, please. But yeah, we'll go through. If nothing else, I can talk about the run as we're going through, but Kana, Akamanto, I should have actually switched the mysteries, but that's fine for the moment. But we'll stick with base mysteries for now, and then we'll take a moment. Again, this is a chill stream, so I don't have to be too try-hard, even though I'm going to be try-harding. So, yeah, we don't want to take Doom at the moment, so we'll move on. We are an Eldritch Parasite, though, so that's going to be another kicker. But the thing about this character is that he has perks and, well, at least when we go to the prepare event, things here that can help out with holding off pretty much RNG results. Like, so for example, you get flashbacks on Harbinger of Doom difficulty, and something happened. Also, let me check something really quickly. I just got scared. Flashback. Okay, yeah, good. Just being sure. And off we go. So I don't think we're going. Yeah, we're just gonna go for. We'll go in here a few times, but if we don't find anything, then I guess we'll tree for funds. Cursed Doll will be okay, but we want really a damage spell. If we don't get it, so be it. We don't really have a lot of time to do much else. So hallucinations is bad, but we need the funds, and off we go. If nothing else, goes to show how useful. No, I was gonna say something. Now I'm losing all of my words. Let's go through it. Oh my goodness, just give me the army knife, please. We could just doom out here, but if I take the energy drink, it's not gonna help me anyway. The reason for that is, even if I drink the energy drink, we'll go back down to 0 dexterity at the end of the mystery, which is not good for us. So we really need to get to the end of this mystery before 42% doom. Otherwise, Otherwise, what you really should be doing with this character, from how I designed him, is that, yeah, you should just be moving on. You can go for a weapon, but you really want to just be moving on, because this character will be able to outpace the Zektast Doom through level ups, or the stat decreases through Zektast with level ups. That is the whole design of this character. And then the energy drink, although Doom increases by 5, the energy drink is to stop RNG moments like flashbacks. So you have to drink the energy drink before your stat hits 0, otherwise you just get 100% Doom. But the thought is there. So I wanted to give a trade-off in case you... Yeah, I wanted a trade-off for you getting the energy drink, because otherwise it would make no sense to just give you free energy drinks. That being said, if we're talking about, as we move on, as we kind of shift topics to another World of War topic, on top of the fact that, yes, we know that Panstaz has been posting lately in the Discord server, but for me specifically, I am sitting on some custom characters, or at least 2 ideas and one. I usually like to make custom characters in packs of 3s, although they might not come out at the same time. I'm definitely working on, or I definitely am working on the graphics of one. Really, the graphical assets are the biggest time sink for me in terms of making a character. It's certainly not just, you know, making the Ito file and stuff. Now, obviously, if you want to add events, that adds more time, but for me, it would still be the fact that I have to make graphics anyway. So, really, for me, it's a matter of making graphical assets anyway. But, as we move on here, so we should be able to level up soon. Hopefully we do before we hit 42% Doom. If not, pain. But otherwise, yeah, we should be able to do something like this. Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe I just gamble here. We'll try to guarantee, or we'll increase the accuracy of the strong attack. That's the least we can do, but we really wanted to hit the other one because, yeah, we're on Eldritch Parasite. We are working with limited resources here. And this is why Ghostly Spear and or Mind Drain is great. Again, I've gone over it before, but in case you are newer to this channel, or you may have forgotten, the reason why I like to, oh, let's do Dexterity, that's right, we have to do Dexterity. I forgot what I was going to say. Well, moving on. Hopefully I remember. If I don't, well, hey. Anywho, I didn't visit the police station yet, did I? I do need to do that. But, I mean, we're just going to gamble anyway. So, police station downtown, patrols, but we also want to take a thing. These box cutters are not going to be better, unless I use the cigarettes, which I could do, but we're not. So, off we go. Otherwise, we probably Curse Doll, because we'll take more damage through by getting hit by Akamanto than using the Curse Doll. But yeah, I was working on a character. She's not complete. She's nowhere near complete, because I usually start working on the main, and then I do everything else. In fact, when I do the main, so if you've seen any of my characters that I made for World of War, I'm not really the most gifted artist, so I don't really think that my characters are high quality, really, but they're just good enough because no one else is going to do it anyway, so until that happens, there are a few characters that have come out that I was going to do, but I mean, if someone does it, like, pretty much every character that's come out that I wanted to do has done it better, at least graphical wise, if nothing else, but they're pretty good characters to play, they feel pretty good, so, yeah, that's all I have to say on that front, but yeah, I'm working on a character, but I had to stop because, again, I am still working on game dev stuff, so as we get 42% Doom here, and our perception falls to the floor. Are we gonna be okay here? Yeah, I have to Curse Doll. In fact, I should just Curse Doll. I know it hurts my stamina, but we don't really have much else to say on the matter. I will go for this, though, and because I'm on a different setup, funny enough, it's easier for me to do handcuff tech. But anywho, we'll move on. Again, this stream is supposed to be 2 hours-ish long. Really, and then to remind... I'll do this reminder every now and then, but... also, yeah, funny to note that, I mean, it kind of makes sense that, actually, does it? Because Branded and Scars and Burns appears even though you take a bath, right? Am I incorrect in saying that? So that's something to note. So I guess Jordan should timestamp at least this part. So when you take a, oh no, I'll do it next time. I'll do it next time. Assuming I survive. Because, well, this stream will be active for 2 hours. I have the time to spare. But really quickly, in case anyone is really watching through the whole stream, basically the Bat Sprite, the Bat Sprite, B-A-T-H space Sprite, does not take into account status effects, which, again, that's not like a negative criticism or anything, that's an observation made by me, because I'm pretty sure base characters, like, and you see it the most with Branded or Irizumi, and I think even Burns in low reason and stamina at points, I forgot. I haven't played a base character in a long time, aside from Haru. But those appear when you go into the bath, basically, even though they're using a Bat Sprite. I'm assuming what's actually happening is that the base Sprite is the thing that's swapped. That's why you can see every other status effect, like Slit Mouth, like Badly Bleeding, so on and so forth. But, again, that's just my observation. It's not, it's a nitpick. It's like lower than low priority in terms of things to address if we're talking about mods, whether it's a plugin, mod, content you can do in World of War, so on and so forth, as someone sneezes in the background. But, as we do our best to survive, bless you again, but we'll take 2 reason and be on our merry way. But otherwise, yeah, I will repeat this again when we get to the timestamp, because that way it's more, we have the visual along with the stuff. Also, I should level up here. Fame, and no fortune, and no hunger. So, we still need to increase dexterity. Funny enough, well, I mean, we'd take a stat increase because we're on Eldritch Parasite, but this is farther than I would expect. I have seen people play Columbo, we'll just use the name. Well, I've seen people play Columbo, and on Harbinger specifically, and boy, have things gone wrong before. Again, I usually try to turn people on in terms of like a content creator's videos or a streamer's streams at times when I'm doing work anyway, so it's nice to kind of see. Also, if I'm gonna take 2 stamina, no, it doesn't matter, does it? I should have smoked these cigarettes sooner, actually, but I guess we need to try. Oh, okay, we can't even dodge. Yeah, our dodge action is so bad that it doesn't even matter. Well, anywho. We have we have Iwa with us, and Kana, that's why we're a lot faster. Now, we missed the attack, but we did dodge the attack, so you know what, we're gonna keep going. In hopes that good things happen. So we dodged the attack again. Now, I guess we ask ourselves the question, does a punk like me feel lucky? Yes? Question mark? Yeah, so, what was that? 35-ish%? Anywho, moving on. So, as we get our experience here, we're probably going to lose this run. We're just going for a high score. But this is a lot farther than I expected myself going. And that's partly because, yes, I did decide to try and go for Mind Drain and or Ghostly Spear. But I think on an Eldritch Parasite run with this character, also I don't have the Hospital Pass, I just realized. I probably should have taken it before I entered this mystery, but now it's too late. Also, this Lump of Flesh does nothing, so... Whoops. But yeah, I should have gotten the Hospital Pass. That saves us a lot more resources, especially on an Eldritch Parasite run. On top of Zektas, those two factors together really just slap you around. Now that being said, running to the Dullners here, mwah, perfect. But I didn't go over the Bat Sprite thing. I need to remember. But yeah, let's move on. So we don't want to attack. We'll try to survive as long as possible. At least now I have a chance to talk about stuff. So. Yeah, third character I was working on, she's from a manhwa. And yeah, we'll see what actually happens. Again, I don't know if I'll ever complete... We'll see if Panstaz releases an update before I finish this character. And I usually try to get on to 3 characters at the same time, but that's not the case this time. If you've noticed. I mean, after Elster and Columbo, I really started to try and do characters in packs of 3s-ish. As if that makes any sense. So the next 2, I think the next 3 after that I made were Andrew, Ashley, and Elise. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. I was autopiloting too much. But anywho, yeah, I did them in 3s. I think the next 3 after that were also pretty much a pack of 3s. Master Shake. Oh my goodness, pain. Why did I do that to myself? Yeah, we might as well take everything now. Yeah, Master Shake, if I can remember right. Kotoko. There was someone beforehand, I feel. I don't remember. Master Shake, Kotoko, and someone else. Oh, I have to look. Now I'm curious. Now I need to check. For my own interest, if nothing else. But anywho. I feel like I'm missing more characters, though. But let's see. Oh my goodness. I don't think... Unless we do something cool here, like this, we don't get out. So 15 plus 10. 90%. Okay, good. Now, do we still make it out of this mystery? That's another question. At least to show the Bat Sprite thing. But do base characters keep the masks on when they're bathing? Well, I mean, I could just play a base character and find out as we lose all of our stamina here, so never mind, you don't get to see it. But we'll do another run with this character just to at least show that part off. But actually, no, you can't, because I need to actually have a status effect before I can display what I was seeing. So let us continue onward. We'll do a random backstory again, but we can't randomize a god, so I'll just say Goizo, and off we go. Now that means, as we get scars here as well, we definitely don't want to take as much damage. Scars helps out in that regard, but still, we want to be careful. Knowledge, Takshisan, second mystery, second encounter, light check, and then a dexterity check if we care, but that's really just 3 stamina damage with this character, because unless you just go gung-ho, which you can with this character, you can get 8 dexterity, especially if you get quick thinking, but yeah, I wouldn't count on it. Especially since energy drinks are... you can grab infinite energy drinks if you have the Doom to spare, but that's only if you have the Doom to spare, because it's 5 Doom a pop. But as we move on here, let's see what we have. We have Kana again, teacher, Flood, Arms, and Scissors. So a lot of pain, but we do still want to grab Kana first. Otherwise, let's grab a pack of cigarettes and be on our way. I take the cigarettes. I give the option of a medical kit because I want you to be able to get rid of things like broken bone if need be. I think there are other status effects, like on contact you get the infected wound, which also hurts your dexterity, but really, yeah, it's for injuries that lower your stats. That's what I wanted to be mindful of. But I think the energy drink is usually more wanted than the medical kit. That's why the medical kit is locked behind prepare. So if you take the medical kit, you cannot take the pack of cigarettes, and if you take the cigarettes, you cannot take the medical kit. And I do believe that the medical kit you usually won't need. Yes, you do get major injuries at times, but you can heal those on demand. It might cost you a bit of doom, but you can heal those on command. But as I look for something here, oh my sweet goodness, 11 roll. But let me see here. Oh my goodness, please wait. Do I not have it here? Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. Well, hey. Also deciding not to run into anything with Kana on our side, but hey, oops, I am doing a thing on the side really quickly. Oh my goodness gracious. But, Gossip Junk. So we're taking a lot less damage, but if we run into a really bad encounter, we do still want to run away. That being said, 1 reason or 1 stamina or even 1 or 2 doom per encounter, yeah, I'd fight that. But, let me see here. Oh, I should have done a thing. I did not. Well, why have I done this to myself? I'm looking at something interesting here. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we're going to prepare again. Rather take Doom than anything else there, but I'm pretty sure I can find... Yeah, so that... 5 Charisma, believe. Okay, good. And Kana goes bye-bye for the moment, but I just want to take a look at the character, because I'm pretty sure I put all my characters on the Steam Workshop by now for the beta branch, which has been in beta for a long time, but as we take 3 reason damage here. Yeah, so also Emiko. So, actually, no, the princess first. So it was Master Shake, princess, and then Emiko. And I think Kotoko is just a lone attempt, but that's fine. But yeah, as I move on, if I were to make more World of Horror characters, they would usually, you know, be grouped in packs of, well, not grouped together and released, but you get what I mean, I think. Or let me explain, actually. Is that you... and they might have a theme about them, but I usually like to work on 3 characters at once, basically. But, so, note here, so for future Jordan, please timestamp this part at, well, what it says on the screen. But, so when we take a bath here, I'm pretty sure the status effects don't carry over here. So what I mean by that is if we have low stamina, we have low reason. So if I take a bath here, it all boops away, which I think base characters, again, this is a very, very small, if you could call it a nitpick, but it's something I noticed where that happens. I mean, it kind of makes sense lore-wise too, so this doesn't need to be addressed at all. I'm just making a note of it. I think I myself would probably not have, would not do anything because, you know, it kind of makes sense. Unless, of course, it's something like branded and stuff, but then you would have to go really into the nitty-gritty of, hey, you have to leave some status effects, because, you know, if you're low stamina, low reason, maybe everything, your character becomes a little crisp and fine for the bath, duration of the bath, which is like a screen's worth of time. But if they are, say, branded, if they have the curse sign, so on and so forth, that probably won't be removed as your character gets into the bath, if you're trying to immerse yourself. But, again, really small nitpicks here and there, left and right. Fame would be nice, Discipline is okay as well. Winging it is interesting, but no. The safe option there would have been to increase dexterity for the sake of flashbacks. I think is flashback still the only curse that decreases a stat by 2? I feel like there's something else, but anywho. Because otherwise most other status effects decrease a stat by 1 only. Now you can still get 2 of the same curse, like 2 hallucinations, 2 stacks of hunger, 2 stacks of brain damage, but flashbacks, getting 2 stacks of flashbacks can end the run for a lot of characters. That's why flashbacks is so prevalent in terms of RNG pain. But again, usually on average, like 5 to 10% of players at most will run into this problem that I'm talking about, me included. Anywho. So I think I'm going to go for another researcher here, because we're on scars, so we don't have a lot of max stamina and reason to heal anyway, which is why, if we go to rest and we overheal on accident, hey, but otherwise, ooh, 70%, 80%, believe. I could have been a lot more, I could have been a more efficient there, but it's fine. So, might consider equipping the box cutter, question mark? 6, 5. No, I think we're still faster with the army knife. 9 times 3, 28, 28, 57, 61. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Unless I want to smoke a pack of cigarettes, but I don't want to do that, so... Instead, I think I'm just going to pop the cigarettes here, rest, and be on our way, because we have max stamina reason now, so... Anywho. So we'll move on. I'm trying to remember, and this is not some kind of gloat, I'm trying to remember who's made the most characters in World of Horror for custom content so far. I feel like there's at least 2 other creators. I mean, if you really wanted to go that hard, you could just make a bunch of stick characters, but you get what I mean. I know there are more than a handful of creators who've made about, 3 to 5 characters as a handful. There's one creator, I mean, I'll leave the name, I'll be vague about this because I don't want to blunder their names, but I'm pretty sure someone has released 5-ish characters so far. And I think someone else has... otherwise, you usually see like packs of 3 or 4 for people who like to make multiple characters. And I don't... I might as well just put this out there. By the way, teacher into scissors. Oof. And arms. Oh, the bosses. Anywho. Oh, you think... And you know what I'm going to do here? So if we get flashbacks, so be it. But we need to survive here. Holes. No flashbacks. Okay, good. And then let's get another pack of cigarettes. We get a brick as well, which is nice. But... Fame... we take dexterity here, otherwise I take perception usually, but I'm scared of flashbacks, so off we go. I mean, I could have waited to level up before then, but now that we have hallucinations, I'm a bit more scared. Oh yeah, so let me just say what I was going to say. So, I guess Future Jordan should probably timestamp as well, even though it's not really important to anyone, but really anyone interested or myself. But, yeah, if you have a character that you don't mind me modifying just for the sake of me playing alone, I'm not going to upload it anywhere else. Please let me know, because I would be more than happy to make events and whatnot. Now, keep in mind that my ability to make art is not the best, so if you want me to add on to a character, make different outfits, do events, and so on and so forth, I can only do my best. I mean, obviously communication is key. I don't mind communicating and, showing people my work here and there, just to see where we are, but, again, otherwise, there are a bunch of talented artists, a bunch of even talented, people capable of... By the way, do I have the sensor bunny, by the way? Yeah, I do. I mean, it's not the right sensor bunny, but it'll be good enough. But, yeah, if you're interested, I mean, I'm always open. But then at the same time, you might be asking, well, Jordan, aren't you busy doing game dev stuff anyway? Well, I guess you're right about that. Again, for those who don't know, really quickly, just to explain my situation. Yeah, dealing with things in real life, so therefore it is more important for me to focus on things that can help me support the people around me, including myself. So... we do want to brace here. Yeah, we can brace. 3 strength with nicotine rush, you can brace. Oh my goodness, this item's so good. But, anywho. Keeping in mind that I do not smoke or drink in real life. I guess that's just a me thing. But, as we take the sensor bunny off the screen, 62% doom. Boy, this is getting a bit dicey, but we'll deal with it. Also, yeah, that's right, we have fame as well. Never mind. I'm hyping up I'm hyping up strength so much that I completely forgot I had fame. But anywho. Could have also thrown a brick and saved 1 doom, but because we were only taking 1 doom, I don't really matter. I'd rather save the brick for, say, Timeline A scissors, as we're going to find out here. We'll save the pack of cigarettes in case just until we do our reason thing. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm just going to save on... We won't need the scissors is what I'm trying to say. Box cutter does less damage when thrown. Star, triangle, right? Oh, no, I just forgot. Now I have to waste more time to figure it out. But, yeah, star, upside down, triangle. I mean, I knew it was upside down, I said triangle, though. There's actually an upright triangle sigil, so I don't really mind. But, as we roll on our luck here and fail because of an 8+2 modifier, hey, things happen. But anywho. Grab some funds, move right on. And now we can smoke these cigarettes a lot more safely. That sounds like a weird statement to say, but trust me. Curse sign, so be it. And, yeah, let's do this sigil right. So, moving on. But yeah, I'm more than happy to work on characters if people say, hey, Jordan, I don't really mind. I mean, if you just give it a soft okay, because, again, I don't really plan to do anything weird with it. It's just... I mean, maybe you tack it on to someone's thread. Like, if you have a thread on the World of War Discord and you give me the okay, I'll just toss up my updates, or I'll toss up my files onto the thread and give credit, obviously. But otherwise, I mean, this is just me speaking openly, because otherwise I have to try and think about other things. Not that I'm being I'm being very vague here for safety's sake. But let's throw the bet, let's throw the brick, and see what we can do. We can probably throw the empty. Yeah, the empty bottle will save us more HP. And off we go, because we don't get bonus damage. Scissor Lady takes bonus damage from blunt. But anywho, but yeah, this doesn't extend to just the character themselves. Even if it's just something as small as trying to balance the character. And if you're interested to see how it balance a character, let me know. Not that I'm an expert in. Well, I mean, I played a lot of custom characters, but by far does not mean I am an expert in the gameplay balance. If you've seen, my win rate on Harbinger of Doom is like 30 to 40%. It's not great. But anywho, I can give you a push in the right direction. I feel like I can do that much, at least. I mean, I'm not trying to be humble here. I think something that I've tried to learn to do more, but it's better than not at all, or little experience, is kind of gauge my own abilities, if nothing else, to a somewhat accurate degree. I won't downplay myself too much, but I know where I stand in terms of things I can and cannot do, for the most part. Now, this doesn't extend to things outside of gaming, but, Do I just take this in the face? The face? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, we're gonna take this in the face. 2 reason. It's not great. We are in Goizel as well, keeping that in mind, but... Actually, we had 100%. I mean, we needed at least another turn anyway. Unless I went for a dodge. I could have gone for a dodge. Yeah, I could have gone for a dodge. Should have gone for a dodge. That was better. Because then I have at least a chance to not get any damage. I really wanted to pass that, but... Actually, no, that was not the right event. I'm going absolutely crazy. I thought that was the event where you can heal Reason for passing. It was not. I knew because not just these graphics, but that was a dexterity check. And the one that can heal Reason is a charisma check. We will die if we do that. So... Timeline B, Timeline A. And off we go. Keeping in mind we have holes, so yeah, we are taking stamina. But we have the last key, so we should be fine for now. I think we're actually just fine, because we only have the dexterity check. If we even have that floor, we don't. So, the second encounters are all that's left, but we should be able to survive here. So, as we get our unique graphic, yeah, I might move to 2 base characters now and again. But for the moment, we'll keep playing around. Also, I probably might switch to the Mod Pack Madness Mysteries that I have, just to throw in some more flavor. Also, that's right, I have this guaranteed on low power enemies. But yeah. Taking a sip of water. Please, excuse me. Wow, I don't remember. Sweaty Assailant? Oh, it was. And then they continue to draw, but we've already fought everything we need to fight. I think you can add just a curious question in case I get it answered before I test it myself. This is a beautiful town when you take a good look at it. Where am I going? I'll figure that out later. But we'll play Columbo one more time. But what was I trying to say? Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, basically adding an enemy in the lighthouse. I'm pretty sure you can do that, right? Anywho. We'll move on here. Random again into, this time we'll do Cthulhu. And off we go. Medical history as well, but we'll deal. And off we go. Yeah, basically there's a lot I like to do for World of Horror, but yeah, I don't have the time at the moment. Second mystery, dexterity, charisma, strength. Second encounter, maybe a light check, but really we're taking 6 stamina damage minimum. For interest's sake, I could run ally attack because we have... While we don't have 5 charisma, we could get fame, and this character levels up quickly, so let's try that out, actually. So, let us see. Flood, Household Hell, Ramen, Mermaids, Botanist. So we'll do Botanist first. Yeah, not much else to say. What are we doing here? Schoolyard. Let's actually do some investigations. If we run into an enemy, I guess we just run away. Otherwise, we hope for the best. Oh, nice luck check, by the way, game. Jewel of Blood. And I'm gonna... Oh, wait, this is Botanist. I need to do one more investigation. So we'll do one at the hospital. Maybe we find a friend. Even though we don't want to, that I just realized. But hey. ask about them for experience, and off we go. So, we can Scary Story recruit all of these students, but I would like to at least recruit one before I spend 10 experience. Luck isn't great, or losing luck isn't great, but among the other things I can lose, it's fine. And in fact, we got Perception and Knowledge. So that's interesting. If nothing else, I could still turn this into a weapon run. Yeah, you know what? I guess I am. Because we got 10 Knowledge and 10 Perception. So yeah, we'll just, never mind. I'm just going to toss out the ally attack run. But it is doable with this character. It's just, you have to ramp up to it. So, if we get the Army Knife immediately, that would be nice. Otherwise, Yoichi stocks? Yeah, Yoichi. While we are also looking for... So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do Witch Tree once. Don't give me flashbacks. Okay, that's interesting. But, no, actually, we don't want that. And let's get... Oh, we also have the Discharge Summary. I'm going absolutely insane. I don't play a lot of medical history anymore. But, yeah, let's let go of Yoichi, gets all these funds, and become super powerful. Because we have Flood as well, so our Doom is going to be a lot lower than expected. In fact, we can even take the Hermit. Do I believe in myself, though? No. So instead, we're gonna roll. Oh my goodness! Can you give me the Army Knife? Can you give me the Army? Okay, good. Oh my Doom! It hurts. We'll go in for another pack of cigarettes, and pretty much, I know we're going for a third. Now we don't have the cigarette case, which actually does a lot. I could give this character a cigarette case, but I think that would be too much. So, off we go. I mean, it would still be replacing the medical kit. So effectively, what I'm trying to say is you either take a cigarette case or you take cigarettes. But either way, it can be very, very bad. So what are we doing here again? So I'm just gonna gamble on the village location with the police station, because maybe in Flood we visit the village twice, maybe even 3 times if I want another damage researcher. But we'll find out. But as we lose all of our funds there, and now we're stuck in a forest, we'll trade off stamina if we run out of funds, and off we go. I could sell the medical kit, but I feel afraid. Don't tell me I'm going to lose the reason just out of nowhere. We're going to risk the Doom here. Okay, we get funds instead. I could just smoke these cigarettes back to back to back, but we'll wait until we get to a dangerous point. We have actually 3 more reason right now, but 2 cigarettes should be more than enough. In fact, Yasugi-san being a cool dude, giving us the time to go. But as we then lose 2 reason because, oh no, Moriko's shirt, sweater, jacket? Off we go. Yeah, I kind of regret not doing the thing now. We can take this in the face. I really do regret not using the cigarettes. In fact, we would have done a lot better if we had just gone for a Desperate Struggle. If we were going to hit every single attack there. I think we had enough to do a prep, or to do Desperate Struggle, but anywho. Well, I guess stats still don't matter in August of 2025, so fun times ahead. But as we take more Doom damage here, yeah, our Doom is very, very, very high. Hopefully it makes up for it. It was a lot of it was doing the recruits, so Yoichi on top of Prepares, on top of really also re-rolling for the Army Knife. I forgot about that. So we'd actually be at about 47% Doom, which is actually quite okay for this run, because we have Flood. Don't we have Scissors as well? I guess we're going to find out. So, let us start this off here. In fact, I'll smoke both cigarettes now. We can level up as well. Fame would be nice, though. We did not get Fame, but we can take everything else. And Household Hell, Ramen, and Mermaid. So yeah, pretty much standard mysteries after Flood, but Flood is still going to be a far cry better mystery, unless you're just doing really bad in the combat department. But it's a better mystery than, say, Arms, in my opinion. Even though Arms, you know, the apartment is a relatively safe location, but there are a few bad things, like running into the ghost and not having the ability to fight ghosts properly. Running into, I think there's another enemy that I wouldn't want to fight there, but I feel like every location has at least 2 of those encounters. The village I completely forgot, and the theologist was in the village, by the way, so police patrols in the village were good, but yeah, I don't investigate the village often. Even with the mod pack mystery events, you could not ask me to name more than probably 1 or 2 enemies correctly. And in fact, even with that, oh, that's right, penalty damage. Even with that, as we rest, yeah, we're probably just gonna rest till the end. I think the only Sniffling Gardener, is that her name? Anywho, And then the Lumpy Officer, question mark? I think those are the only two enemies I can even remember. I don't even remember if the Lumpy Officer was in the village or downtown. But anywho. Off we go. So, prep attack, prep strong. And off we go. Fun times ahead. that was supposed to be me doing the sound of a train. But, anywho. Oh, that's right, we're on medical history. Abdominal cut, not so bad. Even though, yes, that did lose me some stamina. Dislocate. Okay, I should have just traded off 2 stamina knowing that. So something I should have done is trade off 2 stamina. That way I would have been at 11 stamina anyway, but that's not what happened. So, off we go. In fact, probably should have traded 4 stamina for 2 reasons. That's right, because we get the Restless bonus, but again, that didn't happen. So off we go. Fame, please! Okay, good. That being said, if I wanted to make the character less powerful, I would probably add in at least another 1 or 2 unique perks. Even though I think no, I gave back deduction. So never mind. I'm not just gonna not say what I was gonna say. Moving on. Mermaids. We could fight this boss if I so wanted to, but I don't think I want to. So we're just gonna continue moving on. We do have another pack of cigarettes. That's right. I also have a bottle of water, but our stamina was capped off anyway. It doesn't matter. We could try to arrest this boss fight, though. Don't know if I really want to still. So, you know what? Hey. Oh, that's right. We have fame. We can actually just do something like this. We'll add an attack boost just to do it. But otherwise... Occult Diary, please. Because Doom problems. And that's right. We don't have the History Club. But it's fine for the moment. Check out the lockers for funds. Do some investigations, and off we go. There's something else I did take notes to talk about, but I don't have my notes up because I'm actually streaming on the setup that I usually look for my notes for. So instead, I'm just going in and just focusing on playing World of Horror right now. That means, hey, we did have Winging It? Oh, we did take Winging It. Okay, well, let's wing it then, because we get 2 reason and 25 experience. Part of that is, so the decision behind that is that a lot of people don't normally take Winging It. I mean, you could do it, you do it if you want to be cool, but usually there are other better perks like Fame, even Survival Instinct, because on Harbinger of Doom, there are, you could definitely run into the situation in which you have like 2 reason or 1 reason, and so Survival Instinct grants you a bunch of goodies. Now, this being said, do I hit all of these? Well, if I hit 4 of these per turn, we should be good. I am going to... Oh, we just missed. We could have died there, by the way. But because 80% wasn't 80% for the first 2 turns, then that encounter was a lot more troublesome than expected. Thankfully, we still have the bottle of water / the empty bottle, but yeah, if the janitor had raised the axe there, I very well could have died. But anywho. So, Survival Instinct. We can take Discipline as well, but I'd rather take Survival Instinct. That's just my personal preference. Otherwise, Discipline is nice if you know you want to take a lot of... And you know or you're about to take a lot of Knowledge and Perception runs. That's something I could talk about. The balance of just custom events in general, or the... Basically, the... How should I say? Oh, that's right, we're on Cthulhu, so reason is Doom. But, the total events altogether can change, essentially, the balance of a character, a run, so on and so forth. So what I mean by that is... Let's just be really simple about this and say that 70% of events just all remove 2 reason. Then therefore, World of Horror becomes a very reason-balanced game. That's not really a phrase, but try to understand where I'm getting at here. So, characters that can recover reason or don't lose as much reason, whether indirectly because they're just very good at combat and there are a lot of, say, reason damaging enemies as well, or they just have, like, it's a character that starts with, like, Doomed already and Morbid Inspiration. Those characters definitely, but even if you don't, I think Morbid Inspiration, if you start with Morbid Inspiration, you get quite a lot, but especially on a run where you have, oh my goodness gracious, especially on a run where you are just taking a lot of damage or reason damage in general, I think it's very useful. Also, I didn't want to do that actually, but I don't think we could. Well, we could have fought the Room of Ghosts. Well, hey, here's hoping we get to Lower Doom. Well, cross our fingers and hope we don't die. Well, I think we lost here. So, how did Doom decrease again? Anywho, let's move on. I forgot my seconds, by the way, so I could very well lose this run, but at least we did what we wanted to do. So, We did not grab the other key. Tell me that was the last mystery. I want... Oh, it was not the last mystery. Okay, we're in a lot of trouble. We have ramen left. Alright, time for the monument. So, we just gotta keep using monument. At least 3 times minimum. I want to say like 5 times really for me. But, oh, actually 4 times. Let's not be too crazy about it. But, we do want to heal reason, and then we do move on. I ran out of water. Pain! Oh! Yeah, not really much else to say at the moment. But yeah, if the amalgamation of events together can result in different characters being good or different mysteries, or mysteries being harder or easier, I did not mean to do that, but you know what? We can move on to a base character. You know what I'm actually going to do? So let's take this moment to shift things around. I think I took the thingamajiggy. Please tell me I did. I probably did not, did I? No, I didn't. Well, I'll do that really quick. So I guess as I'm doing this in the background here, let us... I'm moving a USB so I can grab something from a different setup. Yeah, the balance of a mystery can change based on basically the events, but also a character and vice versa. So a character can make a run easier or harder, especially in terms of if they are on a run where you lose a lot of stamina, maybe Doom increases by a lot most of the time. Things like this, I think this should be something that you can normally think about as you... something that you can normally, you know, reason into if you think about it, but I just want to say it out right here because, I mean, we're here, I might as well tell you myself. But I do think it makes sense. Again, if like 60 to 70% of events just remove reason, or they have a lot of ways that you can lose reason, not as many ways to lose stamina or Doom increases, then certain characters become a lot better or not better. So on a room where you lose a lot more reason, and maybe there are a lot more strength and dexterity checks, Toshiaki as a character gets a lot worse. Even though he has a bunch of Doom, it doesn't matter when he's taking damage left and right, especially if it is stamina damage, and if he's on a Goizo run, obviously his rests mean less, even though he has effectively 50% Doom. And again, it depends on the situation, but so even if you're on like your 3rd or 4th mystery, and your Doom is at like 20%, if you're Toshiaki taking damage left, right, and center, you rest like 5 times on Goizo, you've already shot your Doom up by like 25%, and maybe the other 2 mysteries, you just increase your Doom by an extra 20% per. And now you're kind of worried about, okay, I need to one-shot Takushi-san, and I need to get my human error Doom checks right. But, again, these are the kinds of things I'm thinking about or situations in particular that can happen based on the custom events you have, what mysteries you have. Even at base, you're still trying to plan things out. On Harbinger of Doom, again, let me add that disclaimer. Harbinger of Doom, I'm waiting for something because I'm transferring some files, but yeah. Game balance in World of War, I think, is funny enough in a very good place, even with bugs that exist here and there and things you can and can't do. Now, obviously, the balance may change again because I feel pretty. If I had to put my chips down, I'd say Panstaz maybe patched a few things. I don't know if it's going to be handcuff tech, but certainly other things. I think there was something else that's important. Oh, I forgot what it was, but anywho. Or maybe it's something that makes handcuff tech even more bugged, and so you don't want to do it at all. But I think, oh yeah. That's the thing for sure. So, if there's nothing else, so I'm going to add this timestamp here for the sake of anyone working on World of War, whether it's Panstaz or someone else, but yeah, the duplicate inventory thing. Actually, you know what? I can replicate this right now, but just to explain it, I'll add another timestamp for when I actually do it. Yeah, if you throw an item at an enemy that is also in your inventory, and this mainly applies to things you have equipped, but it also, I think, it affects if you have, say, a mask equipped, but you throw another mask. So say if you're using the box cutter item, you're not, but just bear with me for a moment. If you have a box cutter item equipped, but you have another box cutter item in your inventory, no matter which one you throw, you lose. I'm pretty sure no matter which one you throw, you lose 1 spot in your inventory. So the game thinks you still have, say, 3 items in your inventory, but when you throw it, you should have 2. But the game reads that you have 3, and so therefore you lose a slot in your inventory. This is the item bug that I'm talking about. More common examples include you have a broken bottle equipped, and you throw another broken bottle that you have in your inventory, and so you have 3. So if you throw all 3 broken bottles in your inventory, you will only have 1 or maybe even 0 inventory space left, depending on what you have equipped and whatnot. But you get I think you get what I'm trying to say at this point. There's some bugs. So for the sake of survival, I'm actually going to buff Columbo here really quickly so that I can survive long enough to show. So we're going to give ourselves 2 katanas. I could probably do this through the plugin as well, just so that makes it easier, but I can do it right here, and it shouldn't take us long. We'll even go on a normal run, just to, again, to showcase what happens. Also, I need to actually save this, so we need to reload the game. Thankfully, so this is really nice by the plugin, by the way, and I'm sure it's because the game also handles it well as well, but, so when you just queue out from the character select screen, which you don't need to hold for, but even if you hold the Q button and reset from in-game gameplay, it does load all of your ETO files again, so if you make any changes, it'll happen immediately. Unless, of course, you just crash, but that's not resetting, is it? But anywho, so yeah, say we have the katana here. We're going to go to a mystery, look for a boss, so we'll go to Recluse, and yeah, at the end of this, let me show you. Not really much to talk about until we get to the timestamp to show, but you know what I also should have done? I should have actually added more timestamp notes. I should make a note of that, but let me actually do that quickly then. So there's another timestamp where I talked about and then this one is going to be the item bug. I think this is by far a higher priority. It's not the highest because it doesn't cause a crash, but it does mean you're experiencing a bad time for that run, so... And so, yeah. But let's get to this boss encounter, and I'll show you what I mean. So, as we continue onward here, let's see what we can do. We do a lot of damage, by the way. Katana plus 10 knowledge, that's, I think, 6 damage per sever. But, so, okay, so for timestamp's sake, Future Jordan should timestamp this, but, so I have a katana equipped, I have a katana in the inventory. I don't think it matters which one I throw. No, actually, no, it matters because you're normally going to throw things in your inventory, so if I throw this right now, so see how my number didn't update? It still thinks I have 3 items, so if I get another item right now, it'll go to 4, and if I try to pick up a 4th item, because there'll be a, say I pick up a broke, actually, you know, we can do it here. So improv, I pick up a branch, and then improv again, but this one goes into the storage, so you... Yeah, now that you see, we have... The game thinks I have 4 items, but I clearly don't. But because I threw a duplicate katana in my inventory, and again, this is normally the case when you need to improvise, or maybe just pick up, like, say, 2 bricks from the vending machines, which is a lot more feasible to some extent. But you get what I mean. It causes your inventory to bug out, so that is not as cool. But... And I'm sure the same thing happens when you throw your equipped item, but obviously it doesn't, nothing in your inventory is being updated, so therefore it's okay there. But if you throw, say, if I had a branch equipped and I threw this branch in my inventory, I would then still have 4. The game would think I still have 4 items and not allow me to pick up more, even though I can only pick up now 2. But, and that's about it. So, yeah, that's the item bug I'm talking about. Another thing I guess that might be quote-unquote fixed, even though it still fits in part of the gameplay now that we know about it, but we'll do one more Columbo run. It's the infinite improvise. I don't doubt in terms of gameplay balance, a change is made where if you do improvise, it aggroes blind enemies. Even though, I mean, logically, that shouldn't proc a blind enemy because you're just picking things up around the enemy, but you never know. I mean, for gameplay's sake, I can see that being patched. I'm going to be a bit torn up about it, but I'm not, I mean, I'll live without it. We've been through worse. So Taxi-san, second encounter, strength, charisma, light, and maybe dexterity check, but really about 5 reason, 6 stamina damage. Unless one of them was knowledge, I admit I wasn't paying as much attention. But anywho. Library notes, we still have 2 katanas, by the way. But, you know what? Well, let's see what happens if we go through a run without deduction and fast learner. Let's see how good or bad this run is. Now, we do have 4 strength, 4 dexterity instead. Let me actually just update this really quick so that the next time Columbo loads, I'm not worried about updating. So I updated, and now off we go. So, how much better is Columbo without deduction and fast learner? I say this is actually worse, funny enough, but we'll deal with it. So, Sailors, Akamanto, Metamorphosis, Teacher, Footage. So, we do need to take one of these 3 in the middle first, because boss mysteries, you don't need to, but I say it would be a good idea to. I'm going to plug this USB back in so I can start transferring files, but if we wait around here, we should be perfectly fine. So, let's continue onward. Let's take less doom. I need to grab a weapon, by the way. We're also going to grab cigarettes, but we need a weapon, so... Also, yes, I've recently just, or not recently, but it's been it took a moment, but then I eventually started liking the Army Knife and the Illegal Den. And part of it is because of the influence of the Monkey Wrench. Am I gonna get this? Oh my sweet... Oh, now I'm just curious. Oh, the Army Knife did appear. Well, now I'm just going crazy. But... yeah, it's because of the Monkey Wrench. The influence of the Monkey Wrench is quite powerful. And I think a large part of that is that the and this might be changed as well. It would be funny if it did, but again, I'll live without it. I can end up using a lot of, heck, I even used the shovel as a main weapon in a few runs. Now, all of those runs may not have gone well, but I'm pretty flexible. I think I feel like I do have some understanding of what I can and cannot run. Although I will make decisions that just make no sense at times, because they are not worth the risk-reward factor. But to rewind back here, basically what I'm trying to say is if Desperate Prep Strong gets adjusted in the way that 5 base damage, 5 base, I was supposed to throw these away, by the way. 5 base damage weapons no longer do 15 damage on Desperate Prep Strong, then so be it, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Anywho, just trying to make sure I have OBS set up. That way I'm prepared for the Sensor Bunny, which I probably should just put up now. Although, keeping in mind, we have 4 strength here, so if we get badly bleeding, well, badly bleeding. I could have smoked the cigarettes, but I think we'll be fine here. Again, if we get badly bleeding, so be it. We are losing a bunch of Doom, though. And again, part of that is because I had to do an extra 2 to 3 rerolls for the Army Knife, but hey. 6 Doom, 29 experience, and a lot of stuff. Keep in mind I don't have deduction, so could be a bit iffy here. But otherwise... winging it. Yeah, winging it. I was going to mention that, yeah, Discipline on a run where you lose more stamina as we take off the Sensor Bunny is very, very nice, but... As it is right now, even with all the custom events I may be using on the Mod Pack Mysteries, but since we're working base game, we'll talk about base game. Yeah, as it turns out, I feel like you lose a lot more reason in general, but I don't doubt that maybe it's all... And I swear I didn't take winging it because I'm remembering about the linked event. That's a linked event, by the way, but anywho. What am I trying to say? I forgot now. Gosh dang it. Oh, goodness. We don't have a round to buy, so we do our best and roll a 9. But yeah, off we go. So, let us do some stuff at the moment. After this run, I'm going to be... Because I have to wait for some items, or some files to transfer anyway. So, with that said, I'll probably go grab a drink really quickly, and I'll be right back in less than 30 seconds or a minute. Hey, can we get Katana really, though? Yeah, because 8 to 9 perception. So, again, this character has really good luck in terms of Katana, but that's assuming you go into Katana land anyway. So, shrug. Still, though, I would prefer Fame, or not, so Deduction and Fast Learner, because a lot of the time, especially with a character that has low stats, you're probably just doing Prep Attack or Prep Strongs anyway. So you're not really... You are trading blows with an enemy. So the extra experience you get, I think it's 1 for 1, if I remember correctly. Except for all, which is double, for good reason. But you get what I'm trying to say. Every point of damage you take is directly equivalent to 1 experience from Fast Learner, which I think is quite useful. I should have smoked the cigarettes here, by the way. Kind of regret it now, because we could just get 1 shot here by bug damage. I think that's one of the only other bugs that I would consider as high priority. Let's see if it happened. Okay, it didn't happen this time. But, so there's a bug where certain enemies, maybe it's a graphical bug where they actually prepare an attack, but I swear Meat Horror has slapped me for 6 stamina before. Unless that's a trait. But again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there are enemies that just deal double stamina damage, and it's specifically only stamina. So that's why I think it's a bug, because otherwise I would be taking double reason damage at times too. So, again, something to look into. If it's not a bug, then shrug. But I'm making that a thing. And I have so normally you might hear me say something along the lines of, I usually try to offer a suggestion. That's not really something to suggest because I don't know how the game works. So, code-wise. Of course we succeed there when we don't need to. We'll grab, actually, Survival Instinct. Do I have an ally with us? No. We have 2 Winging Its, though. Where does this Winging It come from? I'm going absolutely crazy. Anywho. I could heal Reason instead, but we're gonna try to use Survival Instinct. Even though sometimes on Harbinger Doom that can get you killed because you can take 3 Reason damage from an event because of Reason penalty. So I mean the game is already saying it down here, but any high threat level location or higher where you proc an event adds on an extra point of damage. If you didn't already know. Because it is easy to forget about. But, as we do this here, we're just going to swing really hard. I probably need to rest at some point, but it's hard to rest because, well... Our Doom is a bit high, but if we need to survive, we need to survive, right? So, Oh, that's right, we have fetid fumes, so I guess we're not going to do much else for the sake of survival instinct. Might as well try to use it, right? So this should, yeah, we succeed everything. And I think, was that bonus or that was that penalty damage? So it left me at 2 reason. That's actually good for us here, but hey, and then yeah, I'd rather trade Doom there. And I think we just die because I forgot to grab stamina healing before Akamanto here. Well, whoops. So before we load here, let's actually transfer the files, and I will go get a drink really quickly. So Sensor Bunny will be on screen for a moment, or AFK Bunny will be on screen while I do this. So give me a moment, and I will be right back. Oh, goodness gracious. Please. Please! Okay. I'm back! What? So something to note, I guess I might as well, as I'm going to... Oh, the files just finished transferring. I mean, there's no way for me to prove that to you, but as I do this really quickly... yeah, so something to note is that my voice, for some reason, I think I must not be doing something correctly with my voice, because I feel like my voice gets a bit drier than most people would report after just 2 to 3 hours of streaming. Although, that being said, I can go... I mean, I have... So, if you've seen my past streams, as we load in everything else, we should have more stuff as I take away AFK Bunny. But, I have done streams where I've gone for like 6 to 8 hours plus. So, I feel a bit... I still feel just as much as I do now, if not a little bit more tired. Well, fine. Well, yeah, because we're doing other custom mysteries, I'll use Columbo again. We'll move on to a base character at some point, I swear. But, for now... Let's continue on with real hell. Heck, we can even do Azal and be in a certain hell. Oh, goodness. Pain. My tummy. Knowledge, Charisma, second mystery, second encounter, and maybe a dexterity check. But really, we're taking about 3 stamina, 2 reason. Then Tachi-san, maybe if we have the 6th floor. But yeah. Yeah, so voice things, it's taking care of your voice. Although I feel like, would you call it training? I think you can basically train your voice to, or train your body to be able to use your voice for longer, but obviously you still need a break. You can't just keep extending it for longer, but again, it depends. So yeah, now as you see here, we have extra custom mysteries. Maybe we do a 5 custom mystery run at some point. I usually still like to try and throw base mysteries in between though. But Recluse, Ramen, Festival, Phantasms, and Writer. Things. I guess we can take Phantasms first, but we'll see. So yeah, we have Fast Learn Deduction again, each item in inventory, and a lot of pain. So, I normally just take cigarettes anyway, so I should, but I'm thinking if other people play this character, I still want to give you the chance to grab the medical kit. You can't really get the medical kit from anywhere else. I think, I don't use the pharmacy often. Does the pharmacy sell medical kits? And even if it did, I don't think it's worth the thing. Basically, you wouldn't, so I guess we could talk about that. So if you want people to use more stores in general, you need to add, there needs to be some kind of way to either get funds more easily, or maybe an extra option where you can use funds to basically lower or remove the Doom cost. Now, this is very sensitive, so you don't want to just say, hey, 1 fund, so no Doom when you enter a store. But at the same time, I mean, that might not be too crazy, but you would have to play around with that and see how it goes. And again, that might make it so too easy for Harbinger of Doom, as odd as that may sound. Also, I never grabbed a weapon, but we can just punch this enemy. But yeah, that's something to think about. Again, that would be my suggestion to at least think about. But I don't think it's completely balanced. I would have to like sit down and think about it. But I'm also thinking about my own video games, so... By the way, can we hit these kicks like they're actually 90%? Because they're 90% kicks. Why am I missing 25% of them or more? Anywho, are we on scars, by the way? we are. I was like, oh, this can't be happening, so we can skip this immediately, and that might be one of the short... Did I do like 7... Oh, by the way, I took item doom damage because of Azal, but did I do 7 investigations that quickly? I'm going crazy, aren't I? Anywho. Let's just take this. Yeah, and also with fast learner and deduction together that you start off with. Stuff. I forgot what I was going to say. Anywho, we don't want to take Recluse yet because that would be really, 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 really bad. So we're going to take Rider instead and go for... whoops, I tossed the fund away. No! Anywho. You know what? Yeah, let's use the tree then. Don't give me flashbacks. Okay. Mind Wipe is pretty bad too, but we need the fun, so... Yeah. Now, is this run the run where I gamble an extra 5 Doom? It could be. Actually, we have a Recluse. I'm going to take an energy drink now. So, we're going to use the energy drink just in case we get flashbacks. I think we should survive. Why did I not test this out? I should have tested that out. So, whether or not you survive with flashbacks, even if you do a thing. By the way, we're going to take Ryoko. Give me the army knife, please. Ah! Pain. We'll still be okay, but our Doom is a little high now. But, anywho. Yeah, I should have seen if... using the energy drink while you have 1 dexterity remaining effectively gives you causes you to lose the run. Period. That's all I was trying to ask. So maybe, yeah, maybe the energy drink is pretty much worthless. Well, hey, if that's the case, however, I think what I might do is basically... I forgot if this plugin allows you to give stats. And you know what I did? I did not add the thing, so the game just crashed, and the reason it crashed is because the events for Columbo here are in the wrong folder, and I did not replace those folders with things. So, we're going to restart the game really quickly. Also, I don't... Oh, I have it right here. Okay, it's fine. So, oops, does that happen? Let's find out. We're going to find out. But anywho, yeah, the events were not where they were supposed to be. So, should have put AFK Bunny on screen, but I didn't. So off we go. And yeah, at least one more run as Columbo. If I forget to change characters again, so be it. But otherwise, hey, random item stats this time, and back into Azal we go. So, Eldritch Parasite though. So you know what? Oh, by the way, why are we still winging it? Oh my goodness, craziness. Actually, you know what? We're gonna reset this run so we can get rid of winging it. Winging it actually does quite a lot for you if you succeed a lot of events. So, as I look for the Ito file, because I'm going absolutely insane, let's get rid of that really quickly so that I can feel better about myself. Also note that, so I think something else to address really quickly, so a new ally has joined you, Winging It. Yeah, it's supposed to be a perk, I think, or something, but... Or you gain a new status if nothing else, that way it doesn't look as weird, but that's a text bug if anything else. It's not really, yeah, it's like very low priority. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not as prioritized and 10 being high priority, it's a 1. So, anywho, so we shouldn't get Winging It anymore, but we'll humor an Eldritch Parasite Azal run, why not? That's pretty bad though, but we'll humor it. So, and then item stats here. So the biggest part about item stats, even though you're on an Eldritch Parasite run, so you may be using kicks, or you may be using spells instead, is that when you want to sell something, it could sell for 0 funds. I think that's the biggest impact that random item stats has on a run like this. Anywho, Knowledge, Charisma, Light, Second Mystery, Takushi-san, Second Encounter. The reason why I don't just say how much stats I lose is because, just in case anyone new is watching, I introduce to you what the sigils mean. But otherwise, we're probably taking like 3 to 5 reason damage. I even forgot what the other stat check was. But anywho, nothing in the cupboard, stuff, and off we go. Actually, let's grab our funds and then have some fun. So, Akamanto, Mermaids, we'll do 3 custom mysteries. Shiba's Rider, and Story. Oh my goodness. Okay, fine, we'll take Akamanto first. We need to roll for one of the 2 damage spells. We'll take 1 and go. I feel a bit unlucky this run, so let's just take 1. I would normally fish for 2 within like 20%-ish Doom, but no. So, I can take Expel Evil. Yeah, we can take Expel Evil. Now, if I see the, not Crestfallen Mask, a Gruesome Totem, I'm going to be a bit sad, but we really need one of the damage spells. Protective Carvings isn't actually, I don't feel, too great, unless you have very good encounter ability, efficiency in defeating enemies. And you could do that regularly too, but again, I just like using the Ghostly Spear Mind Drain strat. Shrug, that's all I have to say. Nice 12 roll game. Do we have still winging? We still have winging it for some reason. Gosh, me. Why? Anywho. That's fine, we'll live with it. But anywho, oh my goodness, these rolls though, they're really painful. Even without the modifiers, which is really, really funny, but hey. Fun. So, as we continue onward here, hey, it's an unhinged dentist. We're just gonna actually kick him a bunch. Because you never know if we'll get something that we need to lower max reason for, so we can afford to kind of do this. But, if we hit everything and then we Ghostly Spear, we'll be able to just do prep kick, prep kick. I should actually prepare, but I'm gonna actually prepare into a medical kit. The reason why I'm not taking cigarettes, unless I get a good weapon for whatever reason, but since we're just gonna be using Ghostly Spear most of the time, we'll get more value out of recovering injuries, especially if it's 2 minor ones, because keep in mind, yeah, the medical kit can turn into 2 bandages, which is 2 minor injuries instead. So yeah. But on the other hand, we're dealing with Akamanto here, so I need more I want to burn more stamina. Actually, we will get to burn more stamina. You know why? Because Akamanto is going to deal 3 damage to us in stamina's worth, which means Akamanto, in turn, takes 18 damage. So, now the question is, do I get to do anything else? Not really, unless I want to try go for a brace, which I can't even kick, can I? No, I can't. So, I guess we do just do Ghostly Spear again. And then we prepare a kick. And say, hey, also, oops, Doom rule. I forgot about that. Well, oh, every 10 experience. Never mind, there's nothing we could do about that. Okay, never mind. I thought it was the item rule. Then I was like, 7 experience though, that's the, or 7 Doom. That's not even. Anywho. Moving on. Mermaids, Rider, Shiba's story. We'll do story next. Now we have the item rule, which is kind of bad, or really bad, but, not really much else I can do at the moment about that. Quick Thinking, blah, and blah. So Discipline is a dead perk on Eldritch Parasite, so we take Quick Thinking instead so we can survive a flashback tragedy. But yeah, I really need to look into whether or not flashbacks saves you from 0 dexterity at the end of a mystery. If you have 1 dexterity left because you used the energy drink before you got flashbacks. That's the specific use case. But anywho, or test case? But anywho. We'll take 2 all here, because I know I'll need to use more max stamina anyway. Now that does lower my reason, but I'm worried about stamina anyway, so okay. I could have saved reason actually, if I just kept using stamina, but I didn't want to do that. I'm a bit worried about my stamina now. Yeah. But as we get more and more experience, oh man, this could be what you really don't want is to have, yeah, is to get 69% Doom every mystery because of Azal. Specifically the experience rule, which you can pretty much do nothing about. Yes, there's the police station, but if you're in Vigil, so to say, yeah, just take like 8 Doom to the face, I guess. It's not usually that much, and you can time things. There is some strategy to do, but that doesn't mean a lot. I think it's a lot more RNG than one may think, but I could be wrong too. I am just one guy who's relatively unlucky, so my experience is not always correct. That being said, we do 3 damage per kick, so if we can Ghostly Spear twice, which we can't, I'd rather do this than take 2 all again, so off we go. That being said, oh yeah, we do want to level up immediately. Could have started increasing anything else, but we didn't, so whoops. 3 Doom for that? Fine, but anywho. We're not going to get another injury, so let's store the medical kit, and then we take about 5 Doom. I've almost said 5 Doom. And yeah, we take this in the face so that we can use Ghostly Spear more. So we're just going to have to take the reason damage. But if we could brace, that would be nice, but since we can't, we're just going to go for a dodge here really quickly. And you really want a guaranteed attack after the dodge. That's why dodge is so dodgy to me. Haha, funny, but yeah, it's not great for me because I don't think that you're already flipping a coin, which, I mean, you could argue, well, Jordan, you play Fear and Hunger, coin flips should be normal to you. It's worse than a coin flip because if your attack is not guaranteed, you have a very low chance of dodging and dealing damage, which is what the bare minimum you need to do to make dodge effective. And normally in a case like that, unless something, again, you would have to get something else with dodge, like maybe dodge just also has a chance of lowering damage by just one, at a 50%. That way you have 2 coin flips that are kind of in your favor, if that makes any sense. So you have a chance to just dodge all the damage and the attack, just in case it's a special attack, and you have a chance to do a thing. So, I forgot what I was going to say at the moment. We'll take winging it, why not? Extra experience would be nice, but as we're sitting here and I accidentally investigated because that's another bug. So another bug is the fact that you can click things through screens. So if I'm on the item screen right here, or especially the level up screen, you can accidentally investigate a location even though you didn't mean to, pretty much. That's the end all be all. But if I can see it, I mean, I probably could have just timestamped that moment because again, so what I assume is happening is that every screen is still active even though a screen shows up. So let's say I pull up the lucky earrings here. Everything is still available, so you can see even just behind the screen. Although I can't click, I can hover over the choice here, so the mouse is still reading the input. But whereas, I would assume that maybe the screens behind the UI, in this case the item window, should be pretty much be locked, to kind of give a metaphor. And so you cannot, nothing should be happening behind the screen that's in the forefront, if that makes any sense. Anywho, we're gonna jog around the block. Get nothing but penalty damage, funny enough, because we can't heal, but anywho. But yeah, again, the level up screen is the most blatant example of being able accidentally doing things behind the screen. Because you can accidentally, entering the lighthouse isn't so bad, but accidentally investigating a location you don't want to is worse. So, yeah, we would rather lose a bit of stamina here. Although I think I can take this reason. Yeah, we can take this reason damage. In fact, we don't even need to do anything else. We just sever kick 3 times again, because 9 knowledge. Again, you get an extra 1 point of sever damage per 4 knowledge. So yes, that means that... Oh my goodness. Oh, do those winging it stack? Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. Anywho. For Doom. Yeah, keeping in mind that we are about to take a bunch of damage to the face by way of experience. So 6 Doom or 7 Doom. I don't even want to fight this because that's just going to be damage on top of this Doom increase. 5 Doom, and off we go. Now, again, if it's 5 or 6 Doom, it's not so bad because you can just consider that Knight Errant penalties. But with the experience rule, in my experience, in real life, I've normally taken like 7 to 9 Doom damage a lot of the time. 4 out of 5 mysteries. That's not always true. Okay, fine. I might be exaggerating a bit, but you get the point. It's really bad on top of everything else you also need to worry about. But, hey. So we'll take some stamina damage here. I want to so I can use Ghostly Spear comfortably, but our stamina is slowly dwindling. So yeah, if nothing else, more Doom to work with would be appreciated. Yeah, we do need to level up immediately. Fame, but no one on our side, and more funds. We don't have the fund roll, right? Just making sure. Yeah. I wonder... No, yeah, there probably isn't. If there's any other thing. I mean, I guess you could... So, I mean, I guess for quality of life, so you could... If you're on Azal, you could add more UI. Now, in the next update, if you haven't seen the UI that Panstas has put up, there's going to be more UI stuff, but I think something that I would appreciate just as a small quality of life is basically maybe some icons for Azal and above. That way I know what rules are available without having to go to Misery Parasite here and looking. Now, again, it's not the biggest thing. It would be a very low priority, like 1.5, if even that much. But it is something nice. That way I don't have to... I can click less, basically. Yeah. Anywho, Lost Bat doesn't matter because already getting experience from that, and we'll probably even hit 7 levels at the end of this run, but we'll see what happens here. So, Rider. Fun rule, but that should be fine, and off we go. But yeah, I think that's something that would be nice. It's something to think about. No reason not to give it to the player unless you are strapped for space. Again, if the UI were a lot more like cluttered over here and there, because even though it looks cluttered with all the text and boxes here and there, it's actually quite nice in my opinion. Because of how things are spaced. So what I mean by that is you have everything in basically key areas. You know, you have all the UI stuff with the most important information all in kind of a box to the right. You have, if you want to look at the enemy stats, you can look in the upper left corner here. When you're investigating, all the locations are in one key spot. So you're not trying to zoop left and right across the screen like 500 pixels to try and find things. By the way, Ghostly Spear. So that's why, since the UI, although it might be cluttered to some people, you can consider it cluttered. there are places that are open that you don't really need to use. In fact, you could even, I mean, this would be a bit much. Even I would kind of be a bit iffy, and I could see some pushback against this. But for example, you could also make it so that you can replace the in-game chat here with another UI element that maybe the player wants to see. But again, that's another small little, not nitpick, but not even a suggestion, but something to think about. If for no one else than myself when I'm making my own games. But anywho, there's a lot of HP I need to chew through, but we need to chew through it anyway. Otherwise, it's all damage that I probably can't take. So yeah. Yeah, we can't do much more damage after this, so we just do this again and get out. But yeah, rewinding back, Azul icons, like the lighthouse sigils, just to appear here, that way you know. Because newer players, while they might not understand, it's not like you need it on anyway. Because it's very unlikely unless they go in and check it over and over again about what these rules are. Pretty much. So like basically experience rule, so the experience rule could just be like the sigil X, item in inventory could be like, I don't know, a bag or something. Curses could be like a swirl, allies could be a person, like a silhouette of like a white silhouette of a person. Funds can be like the yen sign, so on and so forth. I think you get what I'm trying to say here. But anywho, we're taking how much? Oh, that's right, we have the fund rule, so we need to toss all of our funds quick. Ow. Epilepsy running. But anywho, I think we can survive this run. Oh, we get really close, by the way. Well, let's find out. I think we have a knowledge rule, right? Yeah. So knowledge. So we lose 2 reason, 5 reason, and then a bunch of doom that we should have. In fact, we don't even have the 6th floor, do we? No, we don't. So we do have Toxie-san, but again, my point is that we have enough to survive. So off we go. But yeah, small things to consider here and there, and it doesn't need to be implemented. I'm just saying things that I'm noticing and giving a suggestion, even if it may not be the best. Although I don't think it's bad this time, but I've made some bad suggestions before, and some of them are based off misunderstandings. So I'm going to take a sip of water quickly as I end this run. I totally didn't remember. Anywho, yeah, we just Ghostly Spirit this all the way through. So speaking of misunderstandings, if anyone remembers a long time ago, I did make a tier list for perks. Back when I misunderstood how the perks were going to be implemented. I kind of thought it was going to be the case, but for some reason, I must have thought that it wasn't going to be that when you get perks, you don't start with them and are going to grab them on level up, because when I first took a look at the perks, like, you know, when the perk packs came out and the newer perks were introduced for custom characters, as we finally play a base character, so Kadak rolled a 4, but I thought they were going to give them to you, because otherwise things like Obsessive Shopper, I understood immediately, gameplay-wise at least, that they were not going to be as valuable, because you're always, as of right now in this version of the game, you are often not shopping anywhere but the beginning, because you're really looking for a weapon. Again, this is specific to Harbinger of Horror, and yeah, I like to buy cigarettes for the Nicotine Rush buff in the middle of a run. I forgot my thing is, by the way. I'm just going to say World of Horror as we get into Attack. But, did I even set the thing? Well, it's fine. We're playing with anything anyway. Yeah, so okay, we set it kind of right. But anywho. But yeah, I misunderstood that you got perks at the very beginning that you could just give to the character. You could just give them stuff as a bonus as well. I don't know why I tried to enter the Lighthouse. But as we have the Dexterity, Second Mystery, Strength, Charisma, every single stat check, and maybe a second encounter check. Actually, do we have Takushi-san? No, just both seconds. But yeah, again, the Obsessive Shopper perk is the one that stands out to me the most. So the Obsessive Shopper perks, they are normally only valuable most of the time at the very beginning of the run. That doesn't mean you can't go into like a shop later on. Like maybe someone can use the pharmacy efficiently, but from what I've been through, I don't often see it. But then again, I don't really use the pharmacy anyway, so maybe someone has a pharmacy use strat in case you need to heal. And I don't doubt that you can use it to get good stuff anyway. We'll do 3 custom mysteries, by the way. So Shibas, Raven, and Frogs into Recluse E. Oh my goodness. We do need to grab Kana for this run then. But as we prepare here, yeah, I don't doubt that when you go into the pharmacy, maybe you find the arm sling immediately. Do I even have that? No. Yeah, I do have the pharmacy. But if you don't see, say, the arm sling and you need the stamina, then you're just wasting doom, because it still costs... You know what? We're just going to do it here just to see. Yeah, it still costs 3 doom to enter. Yeah, it's not 4 doom, but you need the funds as well, which is not great. So, actually, if there was a weapon there, probably should have picked it up, but we didn't. I don't think I saw anything. So, Army Knife it is. 4 damage Army Knife, also Kyoko, but we'll grab the Army Knife first. and then grab Kyoko. Oh my, that's so much Doom. But anywho. Did that add like 10 Doom? Am I going crazy? Why did that feel... Anywho. Oh, because, yeah, it costs 5 Doom to get the ally, and then Kyoko is an extra 5 Doom. That's why. Okay, anywho. But yeah, that's why I thought you start off with the perks. Now, I think it's still valuable to at least see what I think, if nothing else, what I think about how good perks would be if you have them from the start. But obviously, the way that the perks were actually implemented were that you have to get them from level up. Which, I mean, I should have expected that as well, because that's how base characters get most of the perks anyway. So yeah. But anywho, cold bath, nope. I knew better than to roll on that, but I just thought for a moment. Say my name! -2 Doom, -2 Reason. I mean, I do need the Doom right now, so this is a very situational moment, but Reason is a bit scary to lose as well. Yeah, anywho. Take Kana. I almost escaped on accident. That would not have been good, because you do still take more damage from losing Kana. Especially if Eels is your first mystery. If Eels is your last mystery, then yes, you can abandon Kana all you want. But as we sit here and hope for the best. Let me stretch for a moment. Oh, blah, blah. But yeah, otherwise, grabbing Kana, because again, if nothing else, you at least run into like 6 to 7 enemies during the course of a run. And the more damage those enemies do, especially if they're all damaging enemies, and you actually mitigate damage because they're not doing 1 all. But since if you're playing on Harbinger Doom difficulty, everything does 1 damage anyway. That's why Kana is more valuable. So, as I sit here and wonder, I could take Recluse later, maybe go for 8 knowledge. Not that that gives me anything more. Yeah. So Raven, Frogs, Shibas. So Raven doesn't... Yeah, so let's take Recluse now. And hope we don't lose too much. We do have Mind Drain, but I would like to not... I usually like to save things like Mind Drain, Ghostly Spear, and whatnot for emergencies. That way, if in case I heal a lot of HP, I'm not wasting HP by if I use Ghostly Spear twice, and I have that 10 stamina, and then I run into 2 events back-to-back that heal stamina, I would have lost a point of stamina effectively. That's a very small kind of optimization consideration, but I mean, the alternative is that nothing, or is that you, well, yeah, anywho. I'm losing my words. But I think you get what I'm trying to say. Anywho, moving on. Do you have a curse, by the way? We have Suicidal, and that's not so... Well, actually, you know, I'm going to gamble against myself, or I'm going to actually take the consistent answer and get rid of Suicidal now. Now, if I get Branded, or I get flashbacks, or Old Gods Forbid I get 2 flashbacks, then I would have regretted it. But that's not as likely to happen. So, as we move on here. So, I think I do want to Mind Drain here for no other reason than to just get some reason back. So we'll wait to take some damage and then we'll do that. In fact, I'll do Mind Drain twice, actually. Now we did cap ourselves off, so I actually should not have Mind Drain twice. Anywho. So yeah, I just lost... I talked about not getting max reason anyway, but... at this case, like, if I were to advise someone on how to go through World of Horror, I would have advised you to do 2 Mind Drains anyway, just to lower the amount of turns and to keep yourself healthy on reason. But as we level up here, yeah, we have all perks. Running Shoe is the more consistent option. Well, but we're on Kathak, actually, right? Yeah. I almost picked up a dead perk. If you don't know, Running Shoes is a dead perk on Kathak, because you can't run away. And if you use the Pocket Knife, that doesn't count anyway, and I think Pocket Knife supersedes or takes priority over Running Shoes. It's not like you spend less Doom because you're running for free anyway. In fact, the Pocket Knife lowers Doom by 4. So I'm doing a kind of shrug in real life where I flip over my hand and tilt my head while shrugging my shoulders just a little bit, but you get what I mean. But anywho, I just realized that as we're going, I mean, if nothing else, we can at least see how the plugin functions. I mean, I'm well aware that the plugin should not really interfere with anything that was already made as custom content for the game, but you know, just in case there's anything finicky, might as well just get some runs in, right? But anywho. I feel like I forgot. Is this Bullet? No, this is Raven. I'm going crazy. We got a crowbar. Please, that's the only thing? Great. Because, I was going to say... References. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know what the reference is. But, anywho. Nice 12 roll, by the way. Try to sneak that past me, game. Give me another one. I dare you. No, please don't, though, actually. Okay, good. Well, I mean, that was guaranteed. But let's see. Let's see in the next event if we roll another 12. We're actually at the boss. So, be defiant. We actually succeed. Okay, never mind. And off we go. So we get nothing else. Aha! In Raven, we got a crowbar. Anywho, let's actually drink this bottle of water because I think I've been losing stamina through that. But by not refilling the bottle of water and drinking it, and into Shiba's I go. Ooh, probably should. I always forget if Frogs has a boss, but it's fine for now. Eat the pizza anyway. Nope. Flashback. Hey, there's flashbacks, by the way. Take the doom damage. Hey, Kirie, take that damage. I didn't say what else. I messed up a bit. But anywho. Let us... Oh, this is a ghost enemy. Never mind. Well, hey. I think we mind drain here as well. But let's throw the crowbar and see. Yeah, we mind drain here as well. So, we mind drain and we get out in this turn. 10 experience for that? That was like a boss enemy. 28 HP? Are you kidding me? Anywho. Yes, that's just me ranting. For fun, but I forgot. Yeah, ghost enemy with 28 HP. That was pretty much the roommate. Except it did less damage, but still, a ghost enemy having that much HP isn't great. First aid doomed already. We'll do first aid. Funny enough. Do we? Both can be good. CQC training useless because we're probably not going to get a single thing. You know what? We'll increase knowledge. Why not? For giggles. But we'll see what happens. Oh my goodness. What just broke here? So again, just to show at least this thing. I feel like this might be someone else's event. There's no way it's something else, right? Actually, let me check this really quickly. So let me just see if I can pull this up. That way you can at least look at the error code on screen. But a ding. Where is it? I'm going crazy. Oh my goodness, I'm going really crazy. That's not it. Thing. Okay, so maybe I do this instead. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Hey, window capture. Do this and do this. So, just to show this on screen, if I can switch. I just want to make sure it fits the screen before I do this. And let me take a quick look, because this is with all the custom events. And I haven't run into this before, but maybe I clicked on the screen? No, because this is convert string to number. Is that a missing Ito file call or error? You know what, it actually could be, but... And I think that was downtown, if I recall correctly. I don't have DVR for the stream, so I can't go back and check. But something did crash, so we'll keep an eye on it. But... yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me check something really quickly as we continue looking at this. This would have to be maybe a Kyrie event. So let me check really quickly. No way, right? No way that the one thing I'm checking here might be the one that's causing the issue. Oops. Oh no, it's here. And specifically, I'm looking at Kyrie events. So I'm just looking at the first Kyrie event and just seeing if this exists. It should, unless it's named incorrectly, which would be really weird. This person usually doesn't have those problems. So let me just make sure. And then yeah, just also making sure that this is not a plugin compatibility issue, even though that would be a little strange, but yeah, I can't figure out what it is. Not in here. So as to not waste time, let's continue onward into another run. We will do another Kyrie run, and I'll take the thing off screen, because that's that. Yes, I was doing things on Audacity. So on Audacity specifically, I do things to make audio files or it's like sound effects for the for my video games or RPG Maker games. So turns out it's really handy to have a lot of freeware software. What do you want to call it? You get what I mean. To have software that I can use to basically do things in a way that's even professional. And you're not saying that Audacity's for amateur. No, I mean, Audacity's great if like, no matter who you are. So I appreciate it. By the way, was that Scars into Ath, by the way? Anywho, I'm just going to assume such. If you crash again, I'll just revert everything to base events. Shrug. But I'll say Scars, and let's just go with normal stuff for the moment. So, as we get into Ath, Scars, Kyrie, we immediately get Seal of Ramel. Do I want to use that? Probably. So let's do the Occult Shop. We'll do an Occult Shop run. Second Mystery, Knowledge, Dexterity, Charisma, Toxicon, and maybe a Light check. But, and just to say, yeah, I did recently use Audacity to make a sound effect. And the sound effect is specifically for a thingamajiggy, game mechanic for Little Kitten, basically. And that's all I have to say. This is not about that, though. Let's just move on. Memory extract, funny, but let's see. Ah. My arm. Got a little cramp for a moment. Let's do WZ86, and off we go. Ward, we'll do 3 custom mysteries. So Ward, Mermaids, Shibas, Auteur, Television, Torture. Blah, blah, blah. So Television, Ward for sure. We can treat the burns and Ward. Yeah, so you know what, we'll do Mermaids first, funny enough. And let's see what we can do. So we want to go into the occult shop. Either weapon is going to be okay. But if you don't get a weapon at all, I mean, if you don't get a... Okay, I was about to say. But yeah, scars will mean that this small candle will be a lot more useful. And if we run into a bad enemy, we can run away if we absolutely need to. But I don't think we will need to. So yeah. Let me take a sip of water. You know what? You know, it would have been great to get a thingy-majiggy, but otherwise the funny mask will help as well. So, we took 3 doom, but we're going to heal at least 7 HP's worth. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Boxes, cigarettes, which is what I want. If it doesn't give you cigarettes, I think it can also give you the energy drink, but I usually look for the cigarettes. But off we go. And let me make sure I'm doing a thing correctly, because I see something that's happening on OBS, and I just want to be fine. But anywho. Let's continue onward. Again, if anyone happens to pop into the stream at this time, please let me know if you have anything you want me to talk about or questions to answer. Otherwise, I'm just going to be going through this. Again, it's odd that an event crashed. I feel like that's happened before, but I think I took away the events that were causing the crash. So, and I'm not saying this is a... Again, I'm not saying this is a plugin error. I'm just wondering what event is causing the crash. Yeah. Anyway. Into the Morbid School. I did not use the police station yet, and I did not even get the hospital pass, which means I need to do it later. But for the moment, we can just burn it all down, and yeah, off we go. Okay, so actually, if there's nothing else to timestamp, as I forgot, I probably forgot a bunch of timestamps at this moment. So if Jordan can remember this at least as well. So yeah, so for base characters, they have a bat sprite. What I'm trying to find out now is whether or not that bat sprite yeah, so you still have the burns and the funny mask. So when custom characters use the bath, they just switch to their bat sprite and the status effects do not show. But again, that's a very small priority. That's a low priority issue. It's graphical, it doesn't affect gameplay at all, so it is something that you can skip. It is not. It's by far not the not a high priority feature for the plugin of the plugin to focus on. Anywho, prepare twice because we want the thing. Ryoko would also be nice, but just checking really quickly. Okay, yeah. So the hospital pass is 2 funds, and off we go. So I think Ryoko is also worth the 5 doom. There are times in which you just take a bunch of damage. Yeah, we are on scars, but still, I think you get more, especially if you can one-shot an enemy. But most of the time, you're going from a 3-turn to a 2-turn with the damage increase, especially with the small candle, which is fast. So again, really nice to have Ryoko or any damage increase for fast weapons. And I'll show you why in a moment. That was 3. Why did that say? Did that say 3 experience? But I got 3 funds. I'm going crazy. Am I going crazy? I'm going crazy. Anywho. Examine the bindings. We lose reason still, but the experience is nice. We have not leveled up yet, is something I just noticed, but we also have memory extract. So you know what? I'm not so mad. And in fact, we can use these funds to level up with this next custom mystery event here. This is something interesting to plan while you're taking, if you are playing with this mystery, television, or torture, whatever you want to name it. Fine. Let's see here. So yeah, buying these materials, and this one I think just loops for the sake of experience, but the next one is where you want to spend 2 as well. I don't remember what else you get though. Never mind. Or do you just get out for free? I think if you don't get anything else, I think actually fighting that enemy is a lot better. But anywho. Well, here's hoping I have the dexterity check, because I'm just going to double dip into dexterity. I also did never use the thingamajiggy, so now I'm a bit sad. The police station. But hey. So, yeah, we do our best. Dexterity. So if we approach Kimiko and then we cut the bindings, please, dexterity. Wow, off by the skin of our dexterity teeth. And we lose reason for it, but we have reason to spare. That's why it's important. I think failing it gives you a stamina encounter instead, so... In fact, we get a lot more damage. Let's hope we hit 3 of these, because normally you would be able to hit as many of these as possible, but no. Now I just want to do this for interest. If I'd missed all 4 of those attacks, though, I would have gotten really sad. And somewhat mad, but really sad. Oh, goodness gracious. So we heal reason here. Do we have anything? No, we don't. Not in our storage. And off to Ward we go. So, we'll probably enter the next 4th mystery at 65% Doom if I were to give a guess, but let's see if I'm right. Not if I fail that. 12 plus 2 modifier, man. Again, I've given my idea for a character before. I don't know about the character in general, so sorry if I don't have really specific word. Oh my goodness, by the way. We can't. No, we can't. Oh, this is really... Okay, well, if we get hit here, we can just run away. Or if we don't get this hit, we're just going to run away. Okay, good. We got bonus damage, but this was not guaranteed. Was there something more? 5? 6? Yeah, it would not have been enough. Anywho. But yeah, a character I would have... I've thought of making, not just in World of War, but any game really, is a character that essentially uses RNG to their benefit. So basically failing enough times grants you something for free. Maybe it's an item, maybe it's the ability to pass the next check, so on and so forth. But something to that degree would help someone like me a lot. Oh my goodness, this is the second crash, by the way. I did not click anything this time, so just to show it again... That is not the crash, that is something else, so let's just take that off, because that there's enough looking at a thing. But, oh my goodness, can you please show the code error instead? But, yeah, same code error. I don't know what's causing it, so I'm going to revert back to base events, and we'll just continue on with this. I do want to complete a run with a base character, but yeah, when the game crashes like this, not much I can do. So, it's time for Bunny to appear on screen, but otherwise, yeah, let's restart the game really quickly. So, that is not what I wanted to open up. That was really weird. Oh, please. Please. Why? Why? Yeah, I know. The plugin does slow that down just a little bit. I can hear it and see it, but as we get into this next run here, yeah, let's just move into it. So, finally, are we going to be able... Oh, wait, this is not base event, so actually I need to reset the game quickly. But let's... let us do a thing. So, let me do this really quickly. So, clickety-clack, changing folder names, directory names. But otherwise, let us reload the game really quickly and actually complete another run. We definitely have at least 2 runs left in this if I go a bit slower. But otherwise... At Exquisite Taste, all perks. Actually, you know what? I can just take this because I'm playing a base character anyway. So, Ayaka, all perks, which, you know, funny enough, why would the game give me this? I don't know why I'm trying to enter the lighthouse. Second mystery, knowledge, charisma, light, dexterity, and maybe Takushe-san, but really, 6 stamina, 5 reason damage. Because we don't have Ayaka perks this time. We'll say, oh, Exquisite Taste, that's right. What do I do here? This is a miserable run, I just realized, but you know what? We'll deal with it. So, we're gonna tree for funds, that's for sure. We're gonna enable a hardware store instead, and I guess we just cross our fingers and hope to not get double flash... Actually, double flashbacks would be a mercy. So, Metamorphosis, Nails, Festival, Diver, and Shuttle. That's a lot of boss fights for Ayaka here. Well, let's see if we can survive. This is for a high score, basically. If I had a bet right now, my odds are like 60% survival rate, which for me is well, for me it would be like less than that. But there's our first flashbacks. Can we get another one? I don't know why I'm hoping for that, but maybe I'm just hoping to get out of this as soon as possible. But we can take the monkey wrench, and off we go. And in fact, let's get rid of flashbacks because I believe, well, we're Ayaka, so we're gonna take like a bunch of curses, but still. It would be better not to. Do we have the history club, by the way? Okay, so let's actually visit the history club. Maybe we find something. Maybe we find something. Nope. So... we'll actually take the demon mask. I'll wait on it, though. We'll do our best to survive. We're just gonna roll on events because we just want some good luck. Even though all of our stats are low, we hope for the best. pretty much 50-50. Aside from maybe strength, any stat check we make is just 50-50 to me. Doesn't matter if we have 3 stats or 9 to 10 stats. Now, if you have 10 or 1 or 11 and 12, you have reason to believe that you'll pass or fail or pass more checks respectively, but... So we can alert the woman this time and take stamina damage. But we also have police station. By the way, I don't remember what my mysteries were, so I'm just going to put the police patrols in the forest for now. Whee! But off we go. Yeah, I don't know. So something that I mentioned before, I need to remember what people thought about Ayaka as a whole. I don't know how people are surviving on all perk Ayaka runs. How many of those have I seen, by the way? Because we're fighting double nurses here, and let's see if good things happen. No, I think we just die immediately. So, yeah, I don't know how you survive with Ayaka on an all perk, and yeah, on an all perks run. Because if this were not an all perks run, I could at least go to the history club and grab an Ayaka perk. But aside from that, yeah, I'm not sure how you survive with this character. I don't know why this character is so high. Well, I know why she's so high tier. Again, that being said, it's not like she's terrible. She's actually great. It's just that I don't know. I feel like I lose a lot more with Ayaka than I do with most other characters, save for Yumiko. If you want to count Terret-chan, that's not her name, but and maybe 2 other characters, but. Like, I mean, just look at what's happening. I mean, I should have equipped the Demon Mask by now. That's my fault. But we can still survive this. But boy, am I fighting for my life at every turn. So, like, I should not have needed to handcuff there. I would have handcuffed there anyway, but oof, this is a rough run. Oh my goodness, we lost Bath as well. Like, how do you survive with this character? Oh, timestamp, Jordan. Let's see. So I think I just take Festival now for the sake of survivability. Diver be damned. Like, oh my goodness. Let me just make a note of this for the sake of future Jordan. But yeah, I don't know. This is just a bad Ayaka run, all things considered. Like, let's be. I mean, if we want to be serious, quote unquote serious or real for a moment, this is a really bad Ayaka run. But could turn around, but it could not. You know, I'm even going to grab Isato here just to try and grab some good spells. We did not get a single good spell. All we did was just lose one reason, because we just forget these 2 spells. And then we lose an ally. But, like, garbage because you're going to fail a lot of checks with a low stat character. Anyway, My Weird Collection is RNG, and we don't have any ally. So, funny enough, My Weird Collection is the best thing here. We take Strength for the sake of the Monkey Wrench, and Brace. And we do our best. 4 Dexterity. Okay, we passed that, thankfully. But this run could always just go down the dumpster fire immediately. Like... Also, yeah, Ayaka has 3 luck. I think, doesn't Toshiaki... Why am I always getting this confused? But I'm gonna pray here. Nope, because we rolled a 5 anyway. Like, I don't know how you survive with this character on an all perks run. Again, that's a very specific thing. But if you're randomizing your settings, about 50% of the time, your Ayaka runs are gonna be all perks anyway. So while our Doom is looking very good still, all things considered, again, I'm fighting for my life when some of the time at least I feel a lot better. Now our Doom might be higher sometimes, and maybe it's not. Maybe we are like at 3 stamina, 2 reason at the end of our second mystery, but man, this feels so miserable to me. But again, Ayaka's still definitely at least top 5, top 3. It's just, in my heart of hearts, Ayaka goes down like half a tier because this can happen. But again, just to rewind, or just to kind of step back for a moment and look at the trees as we get branded and flashbacks again. Oh, we can get rid of Doom here, but also that's right, we can get rid of something, but it would probably just be that. But anywho, we just rest here. By the way, we gotta rest, otherwise we're gonna die. We also have a bunch of we have a bunch of max reason decrease, but can we get rid of more? Yeah, it actually just stores those, so you know what? I should have gotten rid of these earlier. But it's too late now. Actually, I should have gotten rid of holes or hallucinations, but too late now. So yes, I admit, I don't play Ayaka the most. But even with that, like, this is still a miserable time. And at this point, you might say, well, Jordan, you love Toshiaki so much, but he has the stats that are just as low. I need to stress again that the Doom the Doom decrease that Toshiaki gets by far outweighs a lot of other perks you can. Why did I do that? I just been going so. We're gonna do another Ayaka run. You know what? Because I'm salty. Oh no! World of Horror stopped working. Oh, but that's an interesting one. So it's a window that appeared that says World of Horror has stopped working, which is interesting to see. But yeah. Actually, I should timestamp that. That's a really interesting thing to see. But yeah. Anywho, moving on. Let's just hit quickly. If we get Ayaka, so be it. If we don't, then we'll at least remember the things. So you got that. Colt, all perks again. So I guess we'll just go into all perks again. And yeah, this is not normal. Another a devil's advocate argument would be, Jordan, why are you playing on all perks? You should be playing with character-specific perks. And to that I say, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, all perks is an experience in itself. By the way, I forgot what the things were. We'll say Colt. Yeah, Colt into Yogatag. So, as we get into Yogatag, Colt, all perks, Ayaka. Well, let's see what happens. Again, we can just get lucky and maybe get Fast Swimmer for 10 Doom. That's worth 10 Doom. Strength, second Mystery, Light, Knowledge, second Encounter, and maybe a Dexterity check, but really that's 9 Stamina damage, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 9 Stamina damage and 3 Reason. So, here's hoping. Well, maybe the hardware store again, but hey, also my nose itchy. I think that's just a me thing. Whenever I talk for a long period of time, my nose just gets really itchy. I wonder if it's because when I speak, the air from my mouth somehow irritates my nose somehow. But painting, actually no. Painting, Bulletin, Labyrinth, Writer, and Phantasms, because I want to do 3 custom mysteries. So, let's make sure. Labyrinth, definitely. Boss. Phantasms, things to fight. And then Writer. So we can take Bulletin first. Survivor's Guilt, Brain Damage. There goes my knowledge. Yeah, there goes my knowledge. I forgot to grab this, by the way, but we have 3 knowledge right now, so it's kind of oofing me regardless. All we've done is write our sever damage on a ghost enemy, but as we enter the hardware store, we are not on a random item stat run. So you know what? Let's play. No, actually, if we had 5 knowledge, I would have taken. So let's just take the monkey wrench again. Goodness gracious. History club, please. We don't have Akamanto, so we can grab the Gruesome Totem. After that, though, Book of Gore, and one more thing. Nothing. So, off we go. 32% Doom, but I think it's worth it. What I have right now. And keep in mind, we do have the Gruesome Totem, so our Doom is effectively at 35%. Although Yogatag making this harder for us is not making things easier, but hey. Fun times ahead. But anywho, Cold Bath. Oh no, I have 2 straight. I mean, that's the other side of the having low stats. Doesn't matter if you roll a 10 to 12, so hey. But when you roll a 5, it feels really bad. Oh, goodness gracious. 2 Doom, 2 Stamina decrease. And off we go. Yeah, funny enough, I did have some things prepared to show you how I'm trying to basically making my own custom content for World of Horror, but I think we're going to keep this focused on gameplay for the moment. So as we enter the portal and just gamble, we'll trade off Stamina, funny enough. You know what? We'll just equip the Gruesome Totem. Nah, we don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to. Because you never know, right? Maybe I heal all the reason. There's no point in equipping it earlier, because I'm going to get 10 Doom anyway if I'm going to equip it later. But as we do our best with this Monkey Wrench, let's move on. 50-50. Okay, good. It was less than 50-50, but when you roll in RNG, unless you have like near 85-90%, and even then, it's like 70%, 66%. So anywho, I did not do the side quest, did I? So we actually have to say no here. I don't want to fight this. This is going to deal too much damage to me. Even though, yes, we have Book of Gore, but I don't want to just explode into injuries either. So, 3 funds, 5 Doom, extra stuff. And yeah, we have a lot of Doom, but not much I can do when Yogatag keeps stalking me. So, yeah, we'll do our best to survive. So, Labyrinth, Rider, Phantasm. So we'll take Phantasm first, then we'll take the thing. There's Mind Wipe, but we can get rid of that. And let's get rid of Brain Damage instead. So we can get our 4+ knowledge for ghosts. But anywho, here's hoping we don't get the status effect, but we have 5 knowledge, so It seems like we're just going to get a bunch of Doom in our near future, but we'll try our best. Now in the meanwhile, 58%. Flipping a coin every turn. Well, we're only taking 1 stamina damage, so that's fine. So yeah. Otherwise, as we hope that we don't fail this check, need to roll 5 or lower. Okay, good. That way we don't get slapped with Doom left, right, and center. And actually, let's visit the monument now, while we have some funds and stuff to spare. But otherwise, keeping in mind we do have the Gruesome Totem, so we can unequip Ayaka's Chalk and put on the... or equip the Gruesome Totem and take back Ayaka's Chalk when at the... pretty much whether we're about to Doom out or we reach the lighthouse. That's all I'm trying to say. Also, that empty bottle is nice. Nice. I didn't pop my lips correctly. But anywho. Gamble again. Gamble again. I didn't even check what the accuracy was. I was just hoping that it was good. Well, 15 power, we probably had like 77% accuracy. This can't be happening. Bye. And off we go. So, third mystery, 54% Doom. Our Doom is very, 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 very high. But we'll deal with it. So, as we level up and grab... probably running shoes, just in case something really terrible happens. Yeah, we take Labyrinth. Oh my goodness, Fungo Growth, help! Oh, Panic's even worse though, so, because we want to attack boost. But, anywho... so, can we survive this run? I guess place your bets on on nothing. I would say if it were not me and someone who was better at World of Horror, this is not real, is it? Yeah, because it has to say cost usually, if not always. But I would say I don't survive. But if it was someone else, I would say they could survive if they know what they're doing. If I know that the person playing knows what they're doing. But as for me, I would bet against myself for no other reason than RNG. Sometimes, but most of the time it is me. I will admit that. But still, even with some okay strategy here and there, I don't feel like I'd be in the best situation. But let's find out. Again, we do have Book of Gore, but I don't know if that's going to save me. It'll have to, because we're taking too much damage here, and we're not fast enough to do anything else. So here's 1 Book of Gore. Hangover. Here's 2 Book of Gores. Double hangover, by the way. What a time! What a day to be alive. Now, out of curiosity, oh, we can't even do anything else. Well, double coin flip. We can't dodge into anything. We could throw the bottle of water and then the monkey wrench, but I feel like that would be a terrible decision. But for the sake of survival, would I rather? You know what? Let's find out how much it's... okay, so it does that much damage. And I think we can do Desperate Prep Strong. 1 strength. This is real. Okay, yeah. Monkey Wrench is so great. But we did lose our... so, yeah, we took an extra 10% Doom. But again, the alternative was 25% to not die. I wasn't willing to kind of gamble with those odds. Good. Fun for content, but no. So, as we get flashbacks again... although, I think this is another run, but man, am I getting flashbacks a lot out of all the other curses I could get? You could get something relatively harmless like, no, actually, I can't think of anything at the moment. But you get the point. There's other curses you would rather want than stacks of flashbacks back to back to back. But anywho. There's a broken nose. We're branded again. So let's actually... oh, we can't because we've already used the thing, so never mind. And we cross our fingers and hope to not die. So, we are going to pray. Rolled a 10 anyway, game. Thank you. Period. But, oh yeah, this is absolutely all these perks. Anywho. Take more strength. Could have healed Reason. I'm just going to go for strength here at the moment because we were having a problem with fitting actions. But otherwise... let's find out if we survive this run. I am seeing something on the side, and I'm kind of sad. But, funny enough, I lied. Funny mask instead. And let's hope for the best. Now, I think we do have running shoes, so yeah, in case we need to escape from an encounter, we can. But otherwise, we'll do our 2 last investigations and enter our last mystery with about 80% Doom. Maybe 79, maybe 81%. But... Here's the room of ghosts, so we do need to run. Way too much damage. Way too much damage. We do have Book of Gore, but man, that's a lot of damage. So, roads closed, so be it. But I don't remember my last mystery. I could actually end up regretting saying so be it. What is my last mystery? Writer. I think we do visit the thingamajiggy, the village quite a lot, but we're gonna have to just power through. So, without further ado, we have a flashlight. Here's the Eldritch Amulet, funny enough. So if we need the Reason Healing on demand, we can use it. But that's if we can use it and if we need to. Because the Funny Mask will also heal us, but obviously to get a lump sum of Reason, we would... Why did I do that to myself? Now we need to visit them. Funny enough, maybe the Eldritch Amulet helps us here. So what we're going to do is hope that it keeps asking for Reason, which it did not. But we can at least lower Doom by a bunch and move on with our lives. Never mind. I should also probably grab the painkillers right now, because it's a pretty good cost trade for Monument into painkillers. But as we sit here wondering what we do with our lives, you know what? Funny enough, I'm going to throw the flashlight. And then we gamble. So, we're trying to hit both. So 80%, 64%. Go! Okay, good. And let's grab the painkillers really quickly, if we didn't already grab them. But, yeah. We might as well pop in again. If it asked for Reason, that would be nice. It did not, so off we go. Because then we could just equip the Eldritch Amulet to heal a lot more. Now, we could just run away from this. Yeah, we could. And as much as I complain about Ayaka, we could actually survive this. I did forget my second encounter, though, so... it's going to be really, 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 really bad. But, as we enter this max threat level location... Oh, we're just going to gamble here. Nope. That's a free out, anywho. Ah, oh, time skip. Of course the game would give me time skip there. I die because of that. Ah! But that was not an Ayaka problem. I'm leaning back from my microphone because I'm just so sad. But anywho, we'll struggle till the end. But I promise you, this run's over. I think it's over. What I could have done was use. So I did have a way to maybe survive, and that was to use Book of Gore. I just remembered about Book of Gore, but it was to use Book of Gore and use the Monument. But why would I expect after using the Monument 3 to 4 to 5 times that I would? That I would need to use more. Although, yeah, that's something I could have done. So, yeah, without further ado, I mean, we don't have a lot of time left. I want to keep this strict for the sake of everyone's time. And also, I mean, you could say that. Jordan, you just want to end the stream. But anywho, if nothing else, though, again, let me know if there's anything you wanted to see or talk about or anything else in the future. Because I will try as I get into doing other stuff. But if I'm going to sit here with World of Horror, like we can do, yeah, you know what? Let's do one more run. Speed run. Complete randomness. Oh, that's not a random run. But let's do one run quickly. But yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna close. Yeah, this stream is gonna go until the end. Hey, it's Toshiaki this time. But yeah, if there's anything you want to say, if you want to support me to any length, I'm gonna say it probably like 2 to 3 more times tops. But I do have a GoFundMe because of emergency stuff. But that's donations. You're not gonna get anything in return. Otherwise, if there's anything else you want to see, if you want to see more, Little Kitten, which is the game I'm developing, if you want to see more World of Horror stuff or the plugin stuff or specific custom content or even base content, please let me know because I will always try to do my best to give you what you may want. But I do things on my own because I do consider myself, I'm called a content creator. That's right, I'm ill-fated. I do call myself a content creator, so I'm in charge of creating content, which means it's up to my own creativity, innovation, so on and so forth, to make content. But that doesn't mean, I'm sure that doesn't mean we don't want to go on the extreme of not listening to what the audience may want, or not listening to the audience at all, but at the same time, I need to take control and, be the one in charge. But anywho, as we continue on this Toshiaki run here, I have not even equipped the bookstrap yet, but I also never got a single weapon, but it's fine. Again, this is really interesting. I was at 14 Doom at the end of the mystery. Anywho, moving on. So, let's do 3. We'll do 3. Oh, no, these are all mid-mods. Are they all mid-mods? We'll do murder instead. We don't have a shop here, but that's, maybe that's par for the course. Maybe it's not, actually. I should have grabbed a weapon, but maybe we get lucky. I was going to say a thing, I didn't want to say it. So off we go. So let's hope that we somehow survive this, but I really should have grabbed a weapon. Even if I grabbed a weapon, though, I think I would have liked another book-type item. For those who don't know, the book strap makes you faster based on how many book-type items you have. The Necronomicon, I think, is included, But we're trying our best to survive here. We do have a fast swimmer, but that's not going to be enough. And especially as I lose stamina here, we're going to rest a few times. Just so we can try and survive this boss encounter. I mean, we're Toshiaki, so we have extra doom to work with, but... or adrenaline, sorry. But either way, we have faster time things. Also, that's right, we're on ill-fated, so I can't pass any checks. But... as we speed through this run, in fact, we'll just leave this on the timer for as long as possible, for at least funsies' sake. But... yeah, all we can do is kick. All we have is kill and kick. So, as long as we don't die here, if we hit all of these, maybe we get something cool done. But otherwise, we do our best. We're not at 4 stamina, right? No, we're not. But I can brace. That I can do. And do our best. So, as we speed through, just trying to go for speed here. We're going to continue bracing. That way we can get a good chance to do a desperate struggle turn. We did not, but we'll do our best. And, yeah, 90%. I think we need to hit... no, we only need to hit 2 of these. Which we could have actually guaranteed, but hey, we have a steak knife now. And Mansion. Max threat level Mansion. But we're Toshiaki, so we have Doom to work with. But, anywho. Off we go. Hospital stay, no one cares, because we don't have time to sit in the hospital. We gotta go. We gotta go investigate these mysteries. Investigate this writer instead. And off we go. For stamina, though, I really should at least grab the painkillers. But as we just go, ha, ha, ha. Oh, that was not good. We can do desperate prep attack. I'm pretty sure this should be enough. Yeah, it's either 12 damage or a lot more damage. But we have 1 stamina left. I really should have at least treed for fun or stamina, but nope, because I did not think... well, if nothing else, I'm going to learn that this is stamina. But yeah, without further ado, I guess that's going to be in the stream because, hey! Oh, the speed run to the 3 minutes, 31 seconds. World of Horror stopped working! Oh no! Please, why is that happening? End of the stream.